I'm your host, Dondra Burris, with Southern Miss Today on USM Southern Miss Radio, bringing you the news and whatnot's near you. We have a fabulous show for you lined up with Keith Corsi, talks about how fire helps the longleaf pine tree grow, and the community calendar by yours truly, Dondra Burris. Later, we'll hear from our special guest, David Walker, with Backdoor Coffee House. So soar with us for a moment because you do not want to miss this. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Are you in a hurry? Well, I am. But as a paralyzed veteran, I had to overcome incredible challenges just to regain my independence and return to work. Finding a parking space shouldn't be one of them. Illegally parking in spaces reserved for people with disabilities is not only wrong, it's against the law. So please, think twice before pulling into a reserved parking spot. Even if it's just for a minute, it's 60 seconds too long. This has been a public service announcement from United Spinal Association.
Welcome back, my loves. Now for our USM campus news. USM's Gulf Coast Research Laboratory celebrates 75th anniversary with Community Day. Families can get ready for a fun-filled community day at the University of Southern Mississippi. Gulf Coast Research Laboratory on Saturday, October 14th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The celebration is to acknowledge the GCRL's 75th year of research, education, and service to the state of Mississippi. The event is free and open to the public. Community Day will feature various exhibits showcasing current research being conducted at the lab, as well as fun kids activities including fish prints, a passport stamp activity, and face painting. Light refreshments will be available. Kelly Darnell, director of GCRL, is excited for the momentous event. For our in Hattiesburg news, a child was wounded after accidental discharge of a firearm in Petal. An investigation is ongoing in Petal after a child suffered a gunshot wound Monday night. According to the Petal Police Department, officers responded to a call around 8 p.m. in reference to a child who had suffered a gunshot wound due to an accidental discharge of a firearm. Upon arrival, officials learned that the 5-year-old child had been left unattended within close proximity of the loaded rifle. The police department said the child was transported to Forest General Hospital, where they was stabilized and sent to Jackson for further treatment. The child is expected to make a full recovery. The police department said the Mississippi Department of Human Service was contacted. No charges have been filed at this time. The investigation is still going. In Mississippi news, the Ring of Fire eclipse 2023 went to see it in Mississippi and what to expect. Mississippi will be treated to a solar eclipse this week as the moon passes between Earth and the sun, and if you miss it, don't worry, there's another coming soon. It's a little different, said Chris Cirola, astronomer at the University of Southern Mississippi. Is called an annular eclipse, which is a fancy word for a ring. The phenomenon is sometimes called a ring of fire and is caused by the moon distance from the Earth. When the moon's path takes its closer Earth and eclipse occurs, it is completely blocked the sun. However, in this case, Cirola said the moon's path has taken and farther from Earth. So at the peak of the eclipse, a ring of the sun will be visible. The peak won't be visible in Mississippi, though. We're not in the direct path, but we're off the side a little bit. About 75% of the sun will be covered up at the maximum, but that's what we're looking for here in Hattiesburg. According to NASA, the eclipse will take place on October 14th in Jackson, and it's predicted to begin at around 10:33 a.m., and that's roughly the time it will begin in other parts of the state. The peak is predicted to come just after afternoon and end around 1:40 p.m. For our national news, a fragile global economy faces new crisis in the Israel-Gaza war. A war in the Middle East would complicate efforts to contain inflation at a time when world output is limping along. The International Monetary Fund said on Tuesday that the pace of the global economic recovery is slowing. It's slowing. A warning that came as a new war in the Middle East threatened to upend a world economy already reeling from several years of overlapping crises. The eruption of fighting between Israel and Hamas over the weekend, which could sow disruption across the region, reflects how challenging it is to shield economies from increasingly frequent and unpredictable global shocks. The conflict has cast a cloud over a gathering of top economic policymakers in Morocco for the annual meetings of the IMF and the World Bank. Officials who plan to grapple with the lingering economic effects of the pandemic and Russia's war in Ukraine now face a new crisis. But that's our news update from Southern Miss today. Next, we'll have the latest in sports and weather, so stay tuned. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Research shows that audiences feel positively about businesses that underwrite programming on their community radio station. Research also shows that the audiences are likely to patronize businesses that support community radio programming. The audience also believes that businesses that support community radio care about their community. If you want to build this type of relationship with WUSM's audience, call us at 601-266-4287 to ask about sponsoring programming. It's more than just exposure, it's building a community relationship.
Welcome back. Now we're into our action-packed sports. The Southern Miss women's golf team finished in 9th place following Tuesday's final round of play at the Dale McNamara Invitational in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Junior Momoka Anadol finished in a tie for 15th place to lead the Golden Eagles for the third consecutive tournament. We did a lot of things really well this week, adjusted to win, maintained our composure, and things got through, and we stayed true to our game plan, said women golf head coach Lucy Nunn-Burke. Across the board, there were too many big numbers that prevented us from climbing the leaderboard, but Golf Club of Oklahoma prepared us well for Old Waverly. With our men's golf seniors Robbie Ladder and cannot pronounce his name, THONGPIPAT, enjoyed team's lowest scoring rounds over the final 18 holes of the Oregon State Invitational to lead the Golden Eagles to a 6th place finish. The duo each finished in the top 12 to the event, which was placed at the par 71 to 7,384-yard Trusting Tree Golf Club in Corvallis, Oregon. Later posted his second top 10 finish of the fall by collecting the final round 73 to end at a 1 over 214 for a 6th place tie. Added an 11th place tie after posting a team low round of 72 to end his events with a 216. But as for our weather today, the rest of this evening will be mostly cloudy as temperatures fall into the low 70s. Skies will be cloudy overnight as lows bottom out into the mid 60s. Tomorrow will be cloudy. Rain showers will move in late in the morning and linger throughout the afternoon. Rainfalls total between 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch. Higher totals are expected closer to the coast. Winds will be breezy at times between 10 to 20 miles per hour. Highs will be held down into the upper 60s. Skies will remain mostly cloudy for Thursday and Fridays, and few stray showers cannot be ruled out. Highs will be in the upper 70s on Thursday and the mid-80s on Friday. This weekend, another blast of cool Canadian air will move into the area that will drop our highs back into the low to mid-70s under sunny skies. The cool weather will linger into early next week with highs in the low 70s for next Monday and under sunny skies. Up next, we have Keith Coursey talking about how fire helps the longleaf pine tree grow.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison.
Restoring our longleaf forests means learning how the different species of pine trees grow. Keith Coursey discusses how fire helps the longleaf flourish.
All of our plants have some way of dealing with fire. Most of the time the fire just top kills them and they sprout right back. Now, once you get the seeds established, longleaf is very shade intolerant, and so the fire is going to get rid of hardwood species, brush species that are going to overtop the plants and keep them from growing. Now, longleaf will stay in what is known as the grass stage for up to 20 years. It looks like a bunch grass, and really it's just sitting there waiting for a fire to go through and get rid of the competition. It doesn't necessarily have to have a fire, but I know from experience that we have burned very young plantations that were in the grass stage, and when you came back the next year, probably 70% of the trees weren't expressing high growth after the fire.
To hear more, visit MississippiMoments.org or just like us on Facebook. Mississippi Moments is supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. The humanities are for everyone.
All right. Now, please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to Mr. David Walker with our Backdoor House Coffee. Hey, Mr. David, how are you today?
I'm fine. I'm just reminded, I was actually in this program when it was radio, television, film about 50 years ago, and I remember doing this. So this is like, you know, what goes around comes around, only I'm on the other side now. So relax, enjoy it. This too shall pass. In 50 years, you'll be laughing about that.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyway, yes, it's the Backdoor Coffee House, and it is older than you are, by the way. We've been doing this for over 30 years. I have University Baptist Church, which is about 2 blocks from here at 3200 Arlington. I don't want to call us a maverick church because that wouldn't be right. We're trying to follow Jesus. But we do some things a little differently, and we've always valued the arts and feel like real artists, people who are disciplined and care about their, you know, have a drawn to this, to do this, they're worth listening to and sharing a vision. And we find that this particular thing, this strange little coffee house that I talked them into letting me try, is a way for us to invite all our neighbors in, because, you know, when everybody's looking at a piece of art or listening to a piece of music, they don't get in arguments.
Right.
They're just listening. They're just looking. They're enjoying it. And the beauty of this is we're not bringing in folks who are just singing songs they've learned somewhere. We're bringing in the person who wrote the song and is singing it for you. And you may have heard the song sung by someone else on the radio who's better known. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's great being talented. But I love to hear the fresh, original thing. And when you're in the room personally with them, the experience is different. It's not quite like listening to a big concert in a big hall. It's like you're in the living room and you have over someone who's really talented, you really like, and you enjoy them, and they're enjoying you, enjoying the music. It's a cycle. You're giving them something, you personally, and they are receiving that into what they're doing. I'm getting real philosophical here. I do that. Some people would say you preach, but I don't. This is not preaching. This is just the truth. Same thing, right? So anyway, this Friday, we're having our first coffee house of this school season with a guest from Nashville. She's Nashville-based, who was a singer-songwriter that I sound like an old man if I say I just adore her, but I really do. I think she's delightful. Her name is Sarah Beth Gohagan. Say that 3 times real fast. But so sometimes Sarah Beth has gone by Sarah Beth Go as her show name or whatever. She's really unique, and you can say that about any artist, but you really mean it when you say it about Sarah Beth. Her songs are all over the place in terms of, like, you can't be sure what to expect. The kind of song. We have a couple of cuts from some of her earlier albums with us today, and I was going to let you hear snippets of a couple of them because they're very different. The first one is really strange. I think it's the one from, it's called Kids in the City, and if that's queued up, we could play just a little bit of that just to hear that. Or is this a good time for that? I don't want to rush ahead of things.
Can we cue that song?
Okay. So this is Kids in the City, and this is from an album just before COVID, by the way, I think.
Oh, 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 I don't know exactly where this is gonna go. We're kids in the city, we don't wanna be alone. We're tearing down signs and putting up our own. Well, pick me up at 7 o'clock, boy. Bring me a flower, let's enjoy the evening. You look so nice in your plaid bow tie. And you look so
Okay.
That was beautiful.
Well, it's kind of strange, right? I mean, you don't hear that every day.
You don't.
And it surprised me the first time I heard that from her. The other one I was going to bring in is interesting because she's, this is a song about her aunt who was actually a nun and left being a nun, left the monastery. And I don't want to tell too much about her life because she went through a lot of difficult things. But Sarah Beth's not afraid of writing about anything.
Right.
And it's I think it's called Three Sips of Beauty. And her aunt, I think when she wrote this, was living by the sea and was being an artist. I think she'd gotten a little acclaim as an artist, maybe even sculpture, I'm not sure. But was going through a real, I mean, Sarah Beth looks at life from a lot of different angles. So this one, I think you might enjoy because it's a different sound from the same person, right? A different reflection. So are we ready for the second? Okay, good.
right.
This is from Three Sips of
Let's
Beauty.
hear it.
Okay.
Lord, deliver me from Lord, deliver me to Lord, deliver me from Lord, deliver me to Lord, deliver me from Lord, deliver me to Lord, deliver me from me. Lord, deliver me from the desire to be noticed, loved, exalted. Lord, deliver me from the desire to be favored, popular, chosen, or acknowledged. Lord, deliver me from the fear of being wrong, forgotten, or ignored. Lord, deliver me from the fear of being humiliated or left behind.
Okay, that's not exactly the cut, but it's okay. That's a nice cut. I like that one for the lyrics particularly because who doesn't want to be delivered from being
Right.
frightened of being ignored or feeling unimportant?
I know I do.
She speaks. She speaks.
She speaks.
And that actually plays into what I was going to say about her in the interview. I spoke to you before we started this, so. Sarah Beth actually had gone to Nashville and was having a career, putting out albums, signing deals, but she kind of went in through I don't want to call it a drop here, but a tough period, and particularly in COVID. And touring artists, if you know, and I've been in this long enough now that I know a lot of touring artists and people that you would think, well, they've got it all together. It's safe for them, but it's not. It's hard work. Being a musician is a little bit like being a gypsy. You travel a lot, unless you are such a huge name that everybody in the world knows who you are. You travel a lot. You work very, very hard, and sometimes, for difficult. Can you imagine setting up a show several times in a month in different cities and hoping to get the quality of the sound, and you don't know how many people are coming. Oh, yeah, it's incredibly stressful, and I think you have to be in a really good, strong place for that. And in fact, I will say this: I'm so amazed at the strong women that do this.
Right.
We have a lot of women that come, and I just fall for them, every one of them. I've never had one come that I didn't say, "Oh, what a darling, what a great person," And we stay in touch. I've got folks in England and Scandinavia now that I know. If I go, I can.
England, wait.
Yeah, right. That's great.
International, I
Oh,
see.
we are. Yeah. So. We make friends. They check in on us sometimes if there's hurricanes and things. They'll say, "How are y'all doing over there?" So so it's good. But anyway, the thing with Sarah Beth is she went through a period where she just felt like, I can't do this. So she got real depressed, but she found therapy. She went to a therapist, and it was so good for her that she was like, wait a minute, I could do this. I could be a good therapist. And so she became a licensed therapist.
Oh,
And, you know, and the happy ending
what a
is
great
that,
turn.
yeah, a real turn. And now her life is in a lot better place and she's strong and she's touring again. And with her husband, which is an addition. She wasn't married the last time I saw her.
Oh, okay.
So this is
So
going to be cool.
her bounce back with double blessings.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, she's a hoot. I'll just say she's funny. She's a funny girl. And if you come, I would tell students, please hang out, stay a little after the show to meet her, or get her to sign a record or whatever she does, whatever the kids are doing now, MP3s, whatever. I'm sure she'll have some merch, you know, T-shirts or something. And we are a very informal coffee house. We are, you know, there are tables, there are candles. This is real old school, guys. Y'all may have never been in a place like this. Coffee's free, treats are free. A friend of mine is making homemade cakes for us. So the first, you know, 50 or 60 people can
Y'all
get
be
homemade
missing out if you don't.
cake. Yeah, that's it. You will. And you don't pay for anything. It's a donation only. And I tell students, I'm not telling this to all my older friends, but I'm telling this to the students, don't worry about it. Just come in and enjoy it. We want you to be there and have a good time because this is our little party at the house, and we're saying, everybody come on in. And you notice it's the back door of the house. And it really is. You know, it's where you come in. But we're over at 3200 Arlington. That's where University Baptist Church is. And we have some friends that help us. We get a good bit of help from Moore's Bike Shop, which y'all may know, K&B Sales. We've got, oh gosh, I can't even read right now. But I'm thinking.
Me either. My glasses broke.
Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong. Oh, yeah. Oh, our newest sponsor, who I just love to death. In fact, I have something from that sponsorship as our. You get a ticket when you come in, and at halftime we draw, and somebody gets a door prize. This will be one. The Author Shop downtown, which is an independent bookstore, which is really great. They have things like poetry slams and stuff. I mean, it's a good
Nice.
place.
Love me
but-
good poetry.
Oh, I do too. I do book signings there sometimes. I write. That's a whole other time. Have me in as a special guest.
Sure.
And I cannot forget, if I'm just naming a couple, I've got to name a couple that are, you know, Montague, Pittman and Varnado, counselors at law, and,
How long would this event last?
oh, well, we open the doors at 7. The show starts at 7:30, and it's usually over by about, before 9:30, unless everything goes crazy. Which it can go later, but you
have
can
a
leave
good
at any time.
time.
Oh yeah,
Too good of a time.
I'll just tell you. One night we had a lot of our students playing from the internationals that were here. We have a lot of international students that really love to do this thing, and are friends of ours. We had a conga line break out one night. Oh, now you should have been there that night.
That sounds fun.
I would say it's one of the
Get
a rare thing for a church to have a conga line break out. You know, that was a great night. But I'm talking 90 miles an hour because I know you're time sensitive. But I would just be sure to invite people to come. It's
Students, especially, you're on fall break. Come
Yeah.
out and enjoy. It'll be
Yeah.
a great time to just unwind.
unwind, celebrate, and you know it's the best free date in town.
Right.
That's all I can say.
Free
for
cake,
that.
y'all. Free coffee.
Oh,
free
yeah,
treats.
Yeah, I mean, as
We'll
long as
pass
we,
that up.
as long as we got it, you know, come on in. So we're at 3200 Arlington. You can Google it, University Baptist Church. We're in the back of the place, and I'm dressed for it right now. So I'm wearing blue jeans, which is what I wear in life. So, you know, there we are. And I've talked a lot.
So you did great.
But yeah, are we ready? I mean, I can go forever, but you can stop me at any point.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to have to wrap it up, sir.
We can wrap it up.
Thank you so much for all this information. Y'all, please come to his coffee house. Back door. Can you say the address again? one
Backdoor
last time?
Coffee House at 3200 Arlington Loop. And that's like 2.5 blocks from where we're sitting.
All right. And thank you for coming on today and providing an insight on what we need to do and what all information to come to.
There we go.
Coming up, we've got the community calendar performed by yours truly. How's it going, my loves? My name is Dondra Burris, and I'm here with a community calendar where we gather information from around campus and within the community of Hattiesburg. The Hattiesburg JCs are partnering with Fairly Wings and more to host the 3rd annual Taste of the South Food Truck Fest on Saturday, October 14th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. in downtown Hattiesburg. The event will feature live music and fun for all, as well as more than 20 different food vendors. Come out to make your taste buds dance. Join Alexis Theater Productions for a groovy time at their 1970s prom mystery dinner show. Held at Patio 44 on October 14th, starting at 7 p.m. Admissions include refreshments, a selfie station, prizes with audience participation, and more. So practice your best disco boogie moves and put on your 70s attire to have a time out of sight. Speaking of murder mysteries, USM SMAC has teamed up with the Forensic Science Society to uphold a murder mystery event in the Thad Cochran Center Room in Ballroom 1. This event will be held on October 18th starting at 7 to 9 p.m. Everyone's a suspect. Did you figure out who did what? On Tuesday, October 24th, the Moffitt Health Center, USM Student Counseling Service, and Campus Recreation presents the Fall Wellness Festival from 3 to 6 p.m. at Spirit Park. There'll be food, prizes, games, music, and more. If you have an event you would like for us to promote, send it to sm2news@usm.edu. Be sure to check out Southern Miss Today, Monday through Thursday at noon on WUSM 88.5. Also, pick up the latest edition of the Student Prints around campus. To make sure to keep tuning in on SMTV, visit our website at sm2media.com to keep up with all of our news. I'm Dundra Burris, and this has been your Community Calendar. All right. Thanks for listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Huge thanks to our audio engineer, Ashanta, and Michaela, our video producer, for keeping this bird flying. Big shout out to our assistant producer, Shylon and Huey, as well as executive producer Ms. Whitney, program director Shania, and our GM, Dr. Martin. That wraps up our show for Southern Miss Today. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, soar high to the sky and fly, eagle, fly. I'm your host, Dundra Burris, signing off for now.